Alrighty, so welcome everyone to the GameStar Season 2 qualifiers. I am JL Phoenix and I'll be taking you through a lot of the Nomia games that will not be shown on stream, but we still want to see what the best in the region is going to be up to throughout all these qualifiers. So first map of the day will be Dragonshy, and as we can see, we're already partway through the draft. On the other side, it is going to be City Walk. Just looking at the team list, it's a bit of a newer team with some more unknowns on that lineup, but we'll have to see if they're able to put, or see what kind of fight they're able to put up against Nomia, who have shown to be so strong in the region for pretty much the past year. Alright, so as we're getting into the second band phase, let's have a look at what we have on the side of City Walk. There is the Malfurion first pick, followed up by the EDC and the Artanis, so they already have a pretty beefy front line, and also one of, if not the top support of the lot. Whereas on the other side, we have the Dahaka, so the global pressure will already be very much in favor of Nomia already having the files they're taken out, and Greymane also one of the higher prioritized damage dealers now. He had been coming back over the past month, but now he's really risen to be one of the top picks when it comes to the assassin role. As we see, the Valley's going to be banned away. We have seen John be very proficient on the Valley, being able to output so much damage and being very trusting in his team to be able to keep him alive while he goes forward and makes a lot of plays. But as we're coming into the second half of the draft, it looks like Nomia are just going to leave their support for the last pick up the Chromie and the Muradin. So strong picks. Muradin has always, or for quite some time now, been a very strong pick for Robodoba. So we'll have to see what kind of response that City Walk will be able to bring out as they bring out the Tassadar and Tracer. The Tassadar actually falling fairly deep into this draft, so that's going to be a pretty strong combination for City Walk to work with. But I guess if there's going to be any team that'll be able to deal with it, it will probably be Nomia, who have played that quite well over the past, well, at least 3-4 months, I guess. However long Tracer has been out, Ben has been quite strong on the Tracer, being able to be very annoying and do a lot of work with it. So now coming into that last pick, the supports that are left, probably either the Rhaegar or the Lucio. The Lucio is a bit safer now that there's not an easy lockdown coming out, so there's no temporal loop from a Chromie to have to deal with. There's only the ETC and the Malfurion, or even the swap coming out from the Artanis to actually deal with or to actually take care of the Lucio, and could still get a lot of work done. So as they are just finishing off the draft, it is actually going to be the Uther, a pick that we haven't seen a hell of a lot for quite some time, but he started to pop in here and there. A very interesting way to round off that draft. So we'll have to see how that's going to be utilized. Maybe if the Tracer steps a little bit too far forward, just going to drop that hammer down onto the Tracer, and with the rest of the damage coming out from Nomia's lineup, they'll be able to just clean her up real quick. So have to see how it goes as we are getting into game 1 of the night. There's going to be 5 rounds, and we'll have to see if they're able to get started on the right foot, as it is going to be a very interesting one to watch. As I mentioned, there's not the most well-known of players on the side of City Walk, but have to see if they're able to use this very strong combination of the Tassadar Tracer plus the Malfurion to really apply some pressure to Nomia. Dragonshy is a map that Nomia have been quite proficient at playing in the past. It's one that they've really shown their dominance on, so it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle for City Walk, but they have the tools to get it done. No, not that one, that one. Anyway, on the blue side, we have Nomia. We have Fat94 on the Chromie, Robodoba on the Muradin, John on the Greymane, Vanilla on the Uther, Arcana on Dahaka. I felt like I missed something, but I didn't. Anyway, on the other side, it is City Walk. It is Blank on the Tassadar, Malo on the Malfurion, MKL on the Tracer, Tall Dude on ETC, and it is going to be, I didn't see the name, it is going to be Nuke Guardian on the Artanis. Alright, so the level 1, the poke coming out of the Chromie could very well dissuade City Walk from trying to get too aggressive. Nuke Guardian trying to get the swap going, but just gets a little bit too far forward and is getting taken down very low with the drag from the Dahaka, and it's going to be enough damage coming out of the rest of Nomia to finish them off. It's first kill going up to Nomia very quickly, and bit of an overextension there from the Artanis. Doesn't have a very easy way of getting out as MKL gets taken very low. They go very aggressive onto him and does manage to get out, but this is a very aggressive start from Nomia and they're able to get the early advantage. And now with this little bit of time in their hands, they're able to rotate much sooner as Toldu trying to take down the Chromie, or at least lock her down for the rest of the team to follow up, but not able to get much done. MKL with the Pulse Bomb doesn't actually, just a bit short-hands it and doesn't get much done out of it. We'll have to back away. Rapidoba taking quite low. It should be safe as long as I don't get locked down for days. MKL taking a lot of damage, but the shields coming out of the Tassadar are going to help it. So far, these fights are just being traded back and forth. But in the end, Nomia are getting slight advantages. As we see on the top side, the Shrines have activated Arcana on the Dahaka, not wanting to duel this Artanis too early on, and not the best dueling early on from the Dahaka, just wanting to clear waves and just be a real nuisance around the map. As we see a whole lot of the members from City Walk coming down to the bottom side to contest this bottom shrine. They could very well hold both of them, but I doubt they'll be able to have the time to take the Dragonite so early on in this game. But it's going to be a bit of a fight on the bottom side. The Pulse Bomb goes down onto the Uther, but doesn't actually do too much damage. Vanilla is actually now in a bit of an awkward position, gets rooted, but the Tassadar on the back does get taken out. Vanilla is still going so low, but is able to walk himself out of it, and here comes the damage coming in from the rest of Nomia. They do take down both of the supports, and now Tall Dude and MKL are just going to have to back away, as they do have both shrines, but they have no one in position to take the Dragonite, and in the end it's just going to be a slight lead going over to Nomia. They're just going to be able to keep applying the pressure, and so far City Walk is just a little bit behind the play and just get caught out trying to make something happen. Now we see New Garden trying to take, or just dissuade the Dahaka, but meanwhile in the mid lane, the Tassadar was taken down, trying to just soak some experience, but went a little bit too far forward and gets taken out for it. As now we have Fat94 and Vanilla on the bottom side of the map. They should be able to hold on to this shrine for some time. We'll have to see when the rotations start coming down. We do see that Nomia are starting to work on their mercenary camps, but we aren't actually seeing it from the other side. Both shrines are being held by Nomia, but with rotation coming down from City Walk and not all the members down there from Nomia, they're not able to hold on to it. The Pulse Bomb does come out onto Robodoba, but he is a tank. He doesn't really care too much. And they're going to be able to keep on applying pressure as John in the middle lane is trying to get really aggressive onto the Tassadar, just force him away. He's able to at least put a bit of a dent in him, but not enough to push him away to give him time to take the Dragonite. You see this very strong push coming onto the bottom side of the map as the pressure in the mid lane is forcing MKL on the Tracer to come and try and help out. But oh, a lovely stun coming down from the Uther, and the Tracer gets taken down, and this should be the Dragonite going over to Nomia, but they just, with the Psystorm, is going to be able to stall long enough, and it gives enough time to Toldu to neutralize the point, so it's just going to be neutralized a little bit, but still, the advantages are going in favor of Nomia as they are getting aggressive onto the Malfurion, who is going so low, just a little bit of health, is able to survive, doesn't actually get hit by the Dragon's Breath, and will be able to walk away from that, but still, Nomia are getting advantages all over the map. They're able to recapture that the bottom shrine. With Tracer coming back, I don't think they'll be able to actually capture the Dragonite, but the way things are going, they're not too worried about it. They're still getting advantages. They're pushing in all around the map. They're getting towers. They've already got over a level lead. Blank coming in with the Tesla, gets stunned down, and he's going to get locked down and taken out, trying to help out his team by stalling the Dragonite, but he's just going to get locked down. It's not going to be enough. And now the Dragonite goes over to Nomia, and they'll be able to get even more work done. Robodobo actually going quite low without the rest of his team there to help out. Gets locked down a bit. The Tracer tries to get a pulse onto someone, but just misses it again, a bit short on the arm. Robodobo is still quite low. He's going to have to try and get himself out of there. Gets rooted down. Vanilla is helping out, and the Tracer is trying to finish him off, but doesn't have enough in the tank. The John on... Oh, the Artanis does fall on the top side of the map, as we see the rest of Nomia just applying so much pressure. They will be able to take this outer keep, or outer fort. I keep on forgetting which one it is, which term it is, but they're just getting so much done. They have level 10, they have the heroics. It is going to be the slowing stance, so not wanting to go for that, the temporal loop combination to try and blow someone up. I guess with the Tracer and with the cleanse coming out and also dimensional shift, they do have a lot of ways to get out of it. So taking the slowing sands just to control points, or as the Tracer gets taken quite low, the lockdown is very efficient as the Tazite gets blown up. John doing a lot of work already in this game, going all in on the cocktail build, but he is still able to get very aggressive in those and dive in on those low targets and get those plays happening. As now with this position on the bottom side of the map, Nomia are going to be taking this camp pretty much for free, as Robodobo is just going to be stalling or just controlling a bit of space as Tracer takes a shot to the face and is not very healthy after that. And really, they're just a little bit behind on the plays, and with this composition, the Tracer-Tazadar combination, they've needed to play a lot more aggressively, try and make plays early on, but it just hasn't really worked as Arcana is the next target. Going very low, but the adaptation is massive. It manages to get himself back to full health as the Artanis is going to be taken down very low. They're trying to take down the Muradin, but the Pulse Bomb is not going to be enough. That's just going to be another kill going up to Nomia, and with the massive level lead that we have on their side, they're able to play so aggressively with and without fear, as Cocktail just blasts a lot of health off the Tracer. And as the shrines are about to come up yet again, we see that Nomia are just dominating all over the map. Alright, so they're able to get these camp for free. They don't even need to go back to their own side of the map right now. They are very free to just play very, very aggressive. There's not much that City Walk can actually do at this point, as Shifting Sands is going to be locking down this corridor and making the rotation from City Walk so much harder. And with this, well, I guess the camp was taken out, but it's very hard for City Walk to actually get some players to stick. They're not even level 10 yet, and Nomia already at level 13, already so far ahead. Their talent, well over a talent in the lead. And now with the shrines coming up, they're going to start working towards those. We have Vanilla on the Uther moving up towards that. Now we have a little bit of time, as we'll have a look at what the Uther has been building, as Blank is going to try and stall the point. Does use the arc on the blind, was used to try and just stall the point, but it was a little bit too late. The Tastar falls and they're just going to keep on rolling forward. The Cocktail is going to do a bit of damage to the Malfurion, but it's not going to be too much of a problem. But now without the Tassadar, there's going to be so much pressure coming in from Nomia. Well, I say already, it's only 8.5 minutes into this game, and already Nomia are very heavily pushing into the base of City Walk. They don't have much to fear. It is going to be the mosh pit coming in from the ETC, but so far just haven't really had much of a follow-up. Okay, they're playing it very safe in this Dragon, as Robodobo is the one to go very far forward. The Artana's trying to get a bit of damage done, oh, a lovely mosh pit, does lock down 3, but does get absolutely punted away from thanks to the Dragon Knight. And now the fight is going very much in favor of Nomia. They take down the Artanis. The Tracer is very low, getting the shields from the Tassadar to keep himself alive, but the fight has already been lost. The Tassadar is going very low. Robodobo is on the chase, will not be able to finish him off, but the Tracer does fall trying to take down a member. And in the end, it's already 2 free kills going over to the side of Nomia. Robodobo very low. He doesn't have the avatar, just use it. The drag does land onto the ETC. He will be going down. It's just the supports left. The John on the Grey Mane is going to be cleaning that one up, and without many members alive, it's going to be very hard for the members of City Walk to actually hold on to this game. They're losing members. They're just trickling in one by one. Blank is trying to help out on the Tassadar, but now that the Tracer is here, maybe it's going to be forcing that forcing him back just a little bit. It's still a very early on in the game, so the death times are quite short, and it is going to force the members of Nomia back, but still, that's a very strong point to be, or position to be in already for the side of Nomia, as they're just going to be cleaning up some of the camps. It's very hard for City Walk to actually get in there, especially with those shifting, or the slowing sands, making it very hard for them to actually get any kind of position. As we are just having a lot of Nomia just move back, just capture a lot of these mercenary camps that they've neglected for so long, and just setting up for this next play. Before all that kicked off, actually, as we looked at the bottom side, Robodover is going to be trying to get something to happen as the, what is it called again? It is the suppression pulse, of course. That does land onto Robodover, but it's just a little bit too early, and only hitting one is just allowing the members of Nomia to go so far forward. Newgarden is now being taken, or being separated thanks to the slowing sands. It's going to take a bit of damage from the Chromie. He's trying to get something to happen, trying to sow a little bit of discord as Arcana is just distracting the rest of the members of City Walk. They're not able to get too much done as they do take down the Artanis. Here comes the rest of the members of Nomia as Blank is taken very low and does get taken down by the Chromie. That's 2 down. The Tracer does grab, or just get hit with the hammer. Here comes the Mosh Pit. They do lock down 2. They're doing a lot of damage to the Dahaka, and he does actually fall, but not before, or not after. The ETC does get taken down as well, and there's still 3 members on the side of Nomia available. They may have been able to taken the game in the core if only those Siege Giants weren't very preoccupied attacking the middle lane, but still they're very happy as the Tracer does get taken down. Just didn't have the Tasta in the pocket of the Tracer to help keep her alive. So that's going to be the Tracer falling down, and again this is going to be another Dragon Knight going over to the side of Nomia, and there really is absolutely nothing that City Walk is able to do right now. They're trying to make plays happen, but they're just so penned into their base that they can't really go too far out, as Nomia are going to also try and grab this bottom camp, but this does give a little bit of knowledge over to City Walk that there are members on the bottom side away from the rest of the team. But they're not able to get any play happening. They're so far behind. They're 4 levels behind. They're over, or they have a tier down, and with so much going in favor of Nomia, we're gonna have to need to make something big happen as Fat Nanafor gets aggressed upon by the Artanis, as the ETC does come in to help. But the Slowing Sands is doing a lot of work in separating the rest of the team. The Artanis falls. The Arcana is going to be the target for the rest of City Walk, but he's not able to get much done as Robodover is wailing away on this core. He's taken down that shield, but he's already lost a lot of the health on the Dragon Knight. But here comes the rest of the team. They are going to start working on the core. There's not much that the rest of City Walk can do, and that should be the game going over to Nomia. GG.